Well, good morning, everybody, and right there you can see Marathon Coach number 1303. That's actually not what we're going to show you this morning, but I just wanted to give it to you. And good morning and welcome to Marathon Mondays with Mal. It's a beautiful Coburg morning here at the Marathon Coach headquarters and plant where all the marathons have been manufactured and continue to be manufactured, and there is 1303. And you see Greg just climbed down off the top, and I want to tell you about that real quick, but let me jump in here. Hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. I know I've been real busy lately, and you probably saw me down in Indio, so thanks for all of you for watching. So let us know where you're watching from. Let us know about your comments. We've got Todd on the main camera. We've got Mickey directing this morning, and Adam is down here with another camera himself. We got Andy and Pete running around here, and so anyway, we got a whole crew this morning. We're going to show you 1302. Remember, 1302 is the coach that we're going to be following all the way through its process of production. And we showed you a little teaser episode of the shell arriving yesterday. We threw a little Sunday episode out to you. So if you didn't get a chance to see that little Sunday episode on 1302's shell, go back to Facebook or YouTube and check that out. But this is episode 91, and we're going to take a look at 1302. But before we do, I want to talk about temp-coat, temperature coating on the top of the coach. And Greg just applied that to the top of the coach on 1303. There's nothing on top, no air conditionings, no anything. And that temp coat is something that we apply to the top of every coach, including the slide outs, and it helps with insulation. It keeps the cold out and it keeps the heat out. So depending if you are in very cold temperatures or very hot temperatures, the temperature coating that we apply to the top of every coach, including the slide outs, really helps with the insulation. And it's a liquid form of insulation. It's really cool. But anyway, Greg just applied that to 1303, so I wanted to give you a chance before we looked at 1302, which you can probably hear in the background is being sanded and prepped for paint. I wanted to take a look at how masked off this really is. So this is 1303. This shell just arrived, and they have it all masked off so that you could get the temperature coating on the top. And Greg was just up there with a safety harness on and just stepped down after putting a thick film of that temperature coating on top. Very cool. It takes a lot of time to mask that off. Look how it's completely contained. If you take a look down this way, you can see that every angle of this has been completely masked off. Now let's get to who we want to talk about this morning. 1302, which is right behind Todd. So 1302 is the quad slide H3 that I'm really excited about. We're going to follow it all the way through production. So let's move around here. Come on in here, Todd. So this is a real dusty area right now because what they're doing is they block sand it, then they machine sand it, and then they block sand it again. And I was talking with Edgar this morning from our paint department about the importance of block sanding. It really smooths out all of the surfaces. And I'm gonna grab Adam's camera, unless Adam, do you want to go up there? Sure. Adam's gonna climb up there and get us a good shot of what they're actually doing. So there's a lot of sanding going on, and we don't want Adam up there too long because there's a lot of dust going on up there. We don't have any masks on or anything, and so all the guys that are working up there, they've got masks on, and it's well ventilated, and it's sucking all of that dust out. But as you can see, and we're gonna move on down this way. Thank you, Adam, for jumping up there and getting a good shot of them working on it. So we're going to walk down 1302's driver's side here. And as you can see, it's been block sanded, and so they block sand it, they sand it, and then they hand block sand it. And what that really does is that smooths out the entire surface so that there's no imperfections to the fiberglass sides of this coach. We want to ensure that this has a really great painted surface, or a surface to paint on. And so that's why they go to so much lengths, and you can see them working up there. That's why they go to so much lengths to make sure that the surface is very pristine, or as pristine as possible to be painted on. And I know it's loud, but that's part of the production facility. Let's move this way. Here we are in the front of the coach. Here you go, Adam. And as you can see and hear, there's a lot going on this morning on 1302. Let's head this way. And here we are on the curbside, and you can see how the gray primer has gone really down to the fiberglass. That's the block sanding. That's ensuring that we have a great surface to paint on. Well, and that's pretty much it. Let's move out this way. Don't want to spend too much time in there with all that dust, and also don't want to interrupt the process. You know, part of doing Marathon Mondays is making sure we don't interrupt production. We want to look over the shoulders and talk to everyone on the production floor as we move along doing the shows every Monday for you. But at the same time, what we want to do is not interrupt production, because production is very important and staying on schedule. There are customers out there that purchase coaches, and they want to make sure that they get their coaches on time. And so we got to stay out of the way sometimes. But another thing is the dust in there on 1302. Anyway, yeah, you know, something's going on in here. Let's take a look through this window. This will show you the masking and painting. I'm not quite sure what coach that is or what stage that's in. But as you can see, there's a lot of masking that goes on and a lot of taping off. And that's one thing we're going to see on 1302 in the coming week to 2 weeks. We're probably going to check in on 1302 every other week or maybe every 3 weeks, depending on where it is in production. And we're just going to make sure that we get to see it throughout the process until the customer takes delivery. Anyway, while we're standing here, Mickey, are there any questions or comments?
She can't.
Oh,
She can't check.
she can't check them. That's right, because Mickey's directing. I'll tell you what. What's that? I'm sure all of your comments are great, and thank you so much for watching, everybody. Okay, here's the deal. Why don't you guys out there who are Marathon Monday watchers, for this episode, you ready? Send me your address on the comments right there. I want your email. I tell you what, why don't you just email me? You don't even have to comment. For the first 20 people that email me, malw@marathoncoach.com, I'm going to be sending you some calendars. I've got my regular group of people. So make sure I hear from you. Reggie down in Las Vegas, I got to make sure I've got the right address. You know, Ma and Pa Cartwright. There's so many people out there that watch this show on a regular basis. So hit me up, let's get these calendars out to you and spread the word of marathon and the beauty of our coaches. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you had a good long weekend. I know that I did with my family. So thank you from all of us here at Marathon for watching. And yeah, be yourself and do good things. Take care and see you next Monday. And don't forget to email me.